Shana, Shana, Shana Tova. Shana Tova, hey, Shana Tova, hey, Shana, 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 Shana Tova. Shana, 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 Shana Tova. Shana, 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 Shana Tova. Shana Tova, hey, Shana Tova, hey, Shana, 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 Shana Tova. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Chiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.
Shana Tova, Happy New Year. We're so happy that you are with us for this holiest day of the year. And we're so glad that you are spending this morning with the people that you love the most in the world, the people who mean the most in the world to you, because being with them makes this day even more holy.
It's good to be good, and it's better to be better. You can be much better if you try. Doing what is right is sometimes hard to do. Think about it this way, and it's easier for you.
It's better to be better. It's better to be good. It's better to be friendly, and it's better if you would be a friend and wear a smile and do your very best to make each day a better day, much better than the rest. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. And wouldn't it be better if everybody would? It's better to be better. It's better to think twice. It's better to be thoughtful, and it's better to be nice. It's better to be helpful. It's better to be kind. It's better to be sharing, and keep this thought in mind. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. And wouldn't it be better if everybody would? I'll be better, will you?
This day that we spend time thinking about how we want to be better in this new year is special and holy because of the promises we make to ourselves and to God and to the people that we love about how we want to be better, how we want to live better lives and do better, kinder, nicer things in this brand new year. One of the ways that helps us think about the promises that we want to make is a very, very special piece of music that we hear every year on this day that helps us think about the promises we made last year and the promises that we want to make in the year that has just now begun.
The melodies of our holidays echo through the years. On Yom Kippur in particular, there is a sadder sound. There is the sound of Kol Nidre, we heard last night and just now played so beautifully by Alex Pliskin. When we feel sad, it is always important to remember the people who love us, who comfort us with hugs and words and songs. So now let's warm up those loving, comforting voices to be ready for this special day of praying together. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, We now rise for Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
When we see the beauty of nature all around us, the beauty of the earth, of the plants and trees and animals, birds and fish that fill the whole world, it makes us want to say thank you. And this prayer that we say right after the Baruch Hu is the way we say thank you to God for the world all around us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, yotzer or uvorei choshech, oseh shalom uvorei et hakol. Sometimes the people who love us give us rules to show us that they love us and they care about us and want us to stay safe and healthy. That's also part of the way that we have a relationship with God. God makes rules for us too, because God cares for us and wants us to stay safe and healthy too. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha ahavta, Torah umitzvot, chukim umishpatim otanu limadata. Laws and commandments, rules and limits you have given us. Praised are you, God. You love your people, Israel.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
During a normal service, we would ask your grown-ups to put their cell phones away. But this is not a normal service. So what we want you to do now is we want you to get out a cell phone and we want you to take a selfie of the people who you are watching services with. Get out that phone, switch it to selfie mode, see if you can get everyone in the picture, take a selfie, and then I want you to take a look at that selfie. I want you to gather around and look at the picture together. I want you to look at the people in those pictures, and particularly, I want you to look at yourself. I want you to look at this person who lived this last year and made all sorts of choices. Some of those choices were the choices we hoped you'd make. Some of those choices, maybe you made promises and you didn't keep them. Maybe you made mistakes you need to fix. I want you to look at yourself for just a minute and remember that in this year, that person in the picture is going to try really hard to make different choices. Is going to try really hard to keep their promises. Is going to try really hard to become a person who is kind, who is a mensch. So look at that picture for just a moment longer. Marvel at the love that's in that picture, at the kindness that's in that picture. And take a moment and hold that picture in your mind as you make our promises for this coming year. Our next prayer is a part of the service called Unatana Tokef, which is also about promises. It's about the promises that God makes during the years, about some of the big things that are going to happen in the world. But it's also about the promises that each of us makes, the promises that we make about the person we're going to be this year who is kind and loving and caring. And it's a reminder that things like prayer, things like tzedakah, like doing good deeds in this world, and things like teshuvah, like saying you're sorry, those help us to become those people who we promise to be. We continue now at the sound of Barosh Hashanah, and we read responsively with the words on your screen.
Berosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Tzom Kippur Uvyom Tzom Kippur Yichatemu Berosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemu.
Today you open the book of life so that we can read what is written on its pages.
Today you ask us to open our hearts and reflect on what we have said and done this past year.
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed.
But throughout the year, the book of life is open, and the choices we make leave a mark on our world.
And so we ask ourselves and each other, who will choose to live a good life?
Whose hands will cause hurt, and whose hands will help heal?
Who will speak up and who will be silent?
Who will be wise enough to learn from others?
Who will be strong enough to make good choices?
Who will be greedy, and who will be grateful?
Who will break people down and who will build people up?
Who will choose to be a blessing? Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah, ma'avirin et ro'ah gezerah, ma'avirin et ro'ah gezerah.
We read together, through return to the right path, through prayer and through righteous giving, we can earn a new page in the book of life and write a better story in the new year.
Hi, Shira. Thanks for meeting me on Zoom. Your parents said you wanted to come talk to me about some of the decisions you've been making?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I'm glad you're here. What's up?
Well, my dad said I had a privilege to go grocery shopping with him, but we had to pick some stuff up for my little sister's birthday. My dad said I had to wear a mask. but I didn't want to wear my mask. I felt fine, and I just promised not to breathe near anyone.
And what did he say to that?
He said, what if everybody did that?
Interesting. What happened next?
Well, next, we went to Trader Joe's, and I just wanted to see how the grapes tasted, so I took a few. And it was just a few. But then the lady came up to me and said, what if everybody did that?
Interesting.
And then we went next door to get some food for Barkley. And I was watching the puppies, and they looked hungry, so I just fed a little bit of the popcorn I was eating. And it was just a little bit. And then the store clerk came up to me and said, what if everybody did that?
Interesting.
And then when we went home, I was done with my popcorn, so I threw it out of the window. And the police officer came over and said, what if everybody did that? And gave us a ticket.
Wow.
At home, I just wanted to see how the cake tasted, so I just took a little bit of the frosting. But my dad knows, and he got mad, and he said, what if everybody did that?
Wow. Well, I really appreciate your telling me that story. It sounds like you've been hearing those words a lot lately.
You mean, what if everybody did that?
Yeah. And what do you think would happen if everybody decided not to wear their masks when they didn't feel like it?
I guess more people would get sick.
And what would happen if everybody took just a few grapes at the Trader Joe's?
All the grapes would be gone and nobody would have paid.
What if everybody fed a little bit of food to the puppies?
The puppies would get fat or even more sick.
Yeah, I think you see where I'm going with this. Like, you wouldn't want someone to eat your birthday cake before it was time, would you?
No way.
See, you did all these things, and they were small things. But when lots of people do small things, they add up to big things. So the choices we make, even the small ones, really matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know you, Shira. You make really good choices. But it seems like lately you've been making some not so good choices. I think you can do better, don't you?
Yes.
Why don't you do an experiment? For the next couple of days, I want you to imagine that everyone around you is going to do exactly what you're doing. And I want you to see if that changes your behavior. And then I want you to come back and report to me, okay?
Okay.
Well, I'm really glad you came to talk to me today, Shira. It was really good to see you. I'm going to say goodbye for now.
Bye, Rabbi.
Bye, Shana Tova.
Well, that was interesting. I'm really curious about what's going to happen, aren't you? Well, friends, we're getting ready now to read from the Torah. So wherever you are, I'm going to invite you to stand up as we open the Ark.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vanenu, Ki Ein Banu Masi, Aseh Emanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh Emanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, v'hoshienu.
Please be seated. Kedoshim means holy. It's a special part of the Torah that tells us how to act holy. We read it today on Yom Kippur because today is a day that we think extra hard about how we behave and act in the world and apologize for times we acted in ways that hurt other people, the world, or God. We read these words from the Torah to remind us how God wants us to act. And before we hear the cantor chant the beautiful words from the Torah, we join together in the opening blessing. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach,
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el kol adat bnei Yisrael. Ve'amarta alehem kidoshim tihiyu. Ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem.
Now that we have heard the beautiful melody of the Torah chanting in Hebrew, we will take turns reading the English words on the screen that will help us understand what the Torah is telling us and ways to be holy. I will read with the adults, and Rabbi Hayon will lead you kids in reading. The Torah says, "You shall be holy because I am holy."
This means we are holy when we act like God.
The Torah says, "Revere your parents."
This means be kind to your parents.
The Torah says, "Keep my Sabbaths."
This means celebrate Shabbat and take some time to rest.
The Torah says, "Do not turn to idols, nor make yourself molten gods."
This means pray only to God.
The Torah says, "When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap all the way to the edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest."
This means take care of the hungry and people who need help.
The Torah says, "You must not steal, you must not act deceitfully or lie to one another."
This means don't steal, cheat, or lie.
The Torah says, "You must not oppress your neighbor."
This means be nice to the people around you.
The Torah says, "Do not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind."
This means be aware of people with different needs.
The Torah says, "You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against members of your people."
This means forgive people and don't stay mad.
The Torah says, "Love your neighbor as yourself."
This means treat others the way you want to be treated.
Now that we have heard the Torah words in Hebrew and read them in English, we join together in the blessing after Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
I invite all of you to please stand up so that we can dress the Torah.
Dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. First you put your mask upon.
First you put your mask upon.
Mask upon.
Mask upon.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the belt around.
Next we put the belt around.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the cover on.
Next we put the cover on.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the yad upon.
Next we put the yad upon.
Yad upon.
Yad upon.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the crowns on top.
Next we put the crowns on top.
Crowns on top.
Crowns on top.
Yad upon.
Yad upon.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we have dressed the Torah. Dress the Torah we have dressed.
Shira. It's good to see you again.
Hi, Rabbi.
Wow, you seem happy. Is this about how your experiment went?
Yeah.
Great. Tell me about it.
So, I thought about what you said, and I wanted to make choices like other people were going to do exactly what I was doing. So, when I was out walking Barkley, I saw some trash, and I picked it up and put it in the trash can. My dad said, wow, what if everybody did that?
Interesting.
And then, in religious school on Zoom, I listened really hard, and then when it was appropriate time, I raised my hand and asked some questions.
And what did your teacher say?
My teacher said, wow, what if everybody did that? And then, in regular school, there was a new kid, and I tried to be nice to him. And then, after class, I invited us to do homework over Zoom. And his mom was so happy. She said, wow, what if everybody did that?
Wow, interesting.
And then, after school, I figured my grandma might be lonely because she lives so far away. So I FaceTimed her, and she was so grateful of her call. She said, wow, what if everybody called their grandma?
Sounds like you've had quite a successful experiment.
It was.
And what would you say you learned from this experiment?
I learned that if you do bad deeds, they become to more bad deeds. But if you do good deeds, they become to more good deeds. And it can make everyone happy.
That's awesome. It sounds a lot like something that Rabbi Ben Azai, a rabbi who lived a really, really long time ago, said. He said, one mitzvah, one good deed leads to another, and one bad deed leads to another too.
Wow, that's cool, but I don't know him.
That's okay. It sounds like you're going to try and make some choices to do some good deeds.
I am.
That's great. I hope everybody does that.
Me too.
All right. Well, it was really great to talk to you again today, Shira. Thank you so much for calling me. I'm wishing you Shana Tova. It's really good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
We now come to an important part of Yom Kippur. This ancient prayer is called Ashamnu. It's a way of saying the things we have done wrong as a group. While we sing these words, we tap our hearts gently, like we are asking our hearts to open up, and we think about how we can do better in this new year. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay. Now repeat after me. Ashamnu,
Ashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Bagadnu,
Gazalnu,
Gazalnu,
Dibarnu Dofi,
Dibarnu Dofi,
ay, 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 ay. We've made mistakes,
we made mistakes,
we've done bad things,
we've done bad things,
but this is what the new year brings.
a new year brings,
A chance to change,
a chance to change,
a chance to grow,
a chance to grow,
with one first step,
with one first step,
nice and slow.
nice and slow.
Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay. We've used bad words
We've used bad words
and hurt our friends,
and hurt our friends,
but these mistakes
but these mistakes
are not the end.
are not the end. We do teshuvah.
We learn to do good.
We learn to do good.
So we tap our heart
So we tap our heart
to remind us we should.
to remind us we should.
Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay,
I invite you now to all stand up and wrap your arms around one another for a very special blessing on this day.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence be turned to you and be very sweet and gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's goodness and blessing always be turned to you and grant you the best blessing of all, the blessing of peace.
Well, friends, we have one more important part of the service to share together, listening to the sound of the shofar. Every year, this is the thing that we look forward to so much because that sound is the thing that wakes us up and gets us ready for this new year. It's the sound that gets our hearts and our minds and our souls ready for a new year in which we will be better and kinder and more thoughtful. And so before we hear the sound of the shofar, we will begin with blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar.
Tekiah Shavarim Teruah Tekiah Gedolah.
Friends, we're so glad that you are with us this morning. Thank you for spending time with us and with your grown-ups so that we could share this very special service together. All of us hope that the brand new year will be very good and very sweet, filled with lots of wonderful time spent with the people you love and the places that mean the most to you. Shana Tova U'Mituka. May this be a very good, sweet new year for us all.
It's good to be good, and it's better to be better, and you can be much better if you try. Doing what is right is sometimes hard to do. Think about it this way, and it's easier for you.
It's better to be better. It's better to be good. It's better to be friendly. It's better if you would be a friend and wear a smile and do your very best to make each day a better day, much better than the rest. It's better to be better. It's better to be good.
And wouldn't it be better
if everybody